I'm going to be doing prawn linguine. Now, I've already put my pasta on because I like my pasta cooked right through. And I know the Italians are probably saying right now, al dente, al dente. But I'm not Italian. Well, I don't think I am. So, I like my pasta well cooked. The ingredients I'll be using for my prawn linguine are prawns. Now, I've got about 10 prawns per person, and I'm doing this dish for 2 persons, and I've put a few extra on the side. These prawns have been shelled and deveined and rinsed under cold water and pat dried. I've now got some black pepper, some olive oil, smoked paprika, basil, oregano, seasonal, some lime, some spring onions, a chilli, and 4 cloves of garlic, 2 per person. I'm also going to be using, as she reaches over, my prawn stock. Now, the shells from these prawns, what I've done is I've boiled them with some onions, some seasonings, etc., and turned it into this sauce. This sauce takes about half an hour to cook, right down to this nice consistency. Yeah, but I'm using this today, but it's optional for you to use it. So if you are not using my special sauce, which you can check out on my channel, yeah, the recipe, then because you've got basil and oregano, you do have to have tomatoes. So I would suggest, if you're going to make this without my special sauce, use a tomato and just chop it very, very finely and add to the sauce. Okay, I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to quickly de-seed this chilli, and I'm only going to use half in the sauce, and the other half I'm just going to use it to garnish. So my spring onions, again I'm just going to slice it on the diagonal. Right, garlic. Now I'm going to just grate this garlic. I don't want it minced. Oh, and by the way, I normally serve 125 grams of any pasta per person. I think 125 grams is quite filling. Our bits are done. Now, let's cook this. Going to heat up our pan. Going to turn it to low medium because these pans heat really quickly. So I'm probably putting in here about a good 2 tablespoons worth. Looks a bit more, but it isn't. Now I'm going to add the garlic and just literally half of the chilies. I can probably gauge the heat after I give it a quick taste. And as I said, I'm going to put the other half as a garnish. So I just literally want these to warm through. To this, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of seasonal and half a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm just going to simply warm that through just to release the aromatics. Now, if you're not going to be using my sauce, then I would suggest putting 1 teaspoon of seasonal and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Because the sauce that I've made in advance, that sauce has already got the paprika, it's got the seasonal, etc. So you will need just that extra little half a teaspoon each if you're not going to use my sauce. But you know what? You should try my sauce, because when that's in there, because it's got all the lovely prawn aromatics, oh, I tell you, never throw your prawn shells away. They're so good, so good. Right. Now we've got that in there, all we're going to do now is quickly fry our prawns in it. Because my pasta is going to soon be done. I do like using fresh prawns for any kind of dish, any prawn dish. So, but if you don't have any fresh prawns, frozen will do. But if you're going to get frozen, please get the raw frozen prawns, because you really want the prawns, as they're cooking, it's going to be releasing some flavour into the sauce. And yeah, already cooked prawns has already lost its flavour as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And it's not going to taste as nice. Believe me, just a little black pepper, half a teaspoon of basil, and about the same of oregano. Remember, dried herbs is much more stronger, so if you're going to use fresh, use a teaspoon of each. Some lime, and just give it a little squeeze. Again, if you're not going to use much sauce, I would suggest squeezing a whole lime. Give that another stir. So this is a really quick, simple dish. And as I said, this is optional. I'm just going to pour in my sauce. Yep. Again, if you don't have my sauce, then I would suggest putting a little bit more olive oil. But I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil anyway, because it's going to coat that pasta so nice. So a bit more olive oil. And I'm going to boil this down rapidly so that the sauce that I made earlier, I keep saying that, sauce that I made earlier, is going to reduce down, and literally I'm just going to have the oil in these prawns. And while it's boiling down, I'm just going to give it its first sprinkle of spring onions. As you can see, the prawns are curled up. That means they are cooked. It's amazing how prawns cook so quickly. Nice, so nice. Right. Prawn linguine. Quick, tasty, and so simple. I mean, how simple was that? Seriously, how simple was that? All the sauce, as you can see, all the sauce is nicely coated around the pasta. Your prawns are nice and plump. I'm going to resist tasting it right now. Yeah, that is done. And optional, which, well, I say optional because I forgot to tell you about this. I like some parsley in mine. So I've got a bag which I chopped up earlier. So I'm just going to tear some more of that parsley and just put it in it. And here we have it, my prawn linguine. Look at that succulent prawn. It's a pity I have to share this with the hubby. So, here it is, my prawn linguine. Well, my little single serving bit, because I'm just showing you how lovely it is. Nice. Yeah. If you want a quick dish, you've got to try it. Yeah, I'm not the rest. If you like my prawn linguine, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until the next time, see ya. I'm off to follow this dish.